What's good, y'all? KeaToSuccess here, back with another video. I'm gonna go into a little info about myself. Pretty much is how did I get started, or how did I become an owner-operator. So how I became an owner-operator is, if y'all probably heard me say in a couple other videos, is I'm a third-generation trucker. My dad's a trucker. My uncle, two of my uncles are truckers, and my dad's uncle was a trucker. So, and I also do have a cousin that's a trucker as well. So it's, it's, what's that, 5-6 people? It's all people in the family that are all about trucking or in trucking, and so that's how I got here. First being said, I never envisioned this for myself. I wouldn't say I ever looked down on trucking. My dad would say otherwise, but I didn't look down on it. But me watching my dad grow up, as I grew up, I always wanted something better. And when I say better, it does not put no slight to the truck industry. At that time, my dad was a company driver. Uncle's a company driver. Everyone's a company driver. They ain't know nothing about owner-operating. And I see my dad work third shift. Pretty much him coming home and going to sleep a lot of the time. I'm sitting here like, that's how it worked. My dad busts his ass to get $1 to provide for the family. And I see these other people in my life, cousins, friends, who are a little bit more, I wouldn't say more well off, just the way the family dynamic was set up. I wouldn't even say that. Just like, I guess, to come down to it, yeah, they're a little bit more well off, or just manage their money a little bit better than what my parents did at, beginning stages, because starting their lives, I came along in between it. I'm talking my friends. I got friends. I went to a white high school, and they're like, yeah, my dad's 50. My mom's 30, 40, something like that. It was an age difference a lot of the times, or at least pretty close, or on the older end. And I'm like, damn, my dad's only 35. My mom's 38. They're in their 30s. Like, damn. So that's why I noticed. But I grew up with everything. I had everything I needed. Everything ever I wanted. I wanted the PS3, I got a PS3. Wanted a TV, got a TV. Wanted this transformer playset, got it. We wanted the pool, we got a pool. I wanted shoes, I got shoes, got clothes. I got everything I wanted all the time. But I guess something I just noticed that, I guess the big difference was the house, I guess, and maybe a little bit of the vehicles. Sometimes they did have nicer vehicles or whatnot, and definitely the house was a little bit nicer in a more suburban neighborhood. Our house was in Milwaukee, not too far from Hamilton, not too far from Southridge, off of Howard. So we weren't in a bad neighborhood or nothing like that, but it was definitely a Milwaukee home. Our house was 100-some-plus-year-old. Look at an old map. One of these town centers is like right across from from our alley, shopping centers. You can see our house is the only house in the vicinity before everything else started building around it. So our house is old as shit. So no, we didn't have the newest house, but we definitely, over the years, my dad, my mom put in too much work into this house. It pretty much, that house is brand new by the time we got up out of it. New roof, new siding, all the walls are new, new kitchen, floor, everything's been redone one way or another. Everything was redone in the house, but not getting that attention. Not to get on anything with my parents, but I definitely could tell the difference between some of my, white friends versus, our family and everything else. Some of the other family members in my cousins. They lived in a nice ass house, nice ass neighborhood. They know who they are, but I always like, dang. And then on top of it, they built the house. Boom. It was back when I was 10, somewhere around there, I think. They built a house. Like, whoa. Y'all built a house. It was out in Pewaukee, Waukesha. Then some years later, I don't even know, I think probably like 10 more years later, they built another house. Sold that one, built another house. And from my knowledge, most people don't even get a chance to build one house in their lifetime. But they got two. So there's clearly levels to this shit, to say the least. I don't care what no one says. And they was on another level. So I see that. My eyes have witnessed that. So I'm like, there gotta be a better way. So yes, I did not look at trucking as my first option, but I always knew it could be in my back pocket because it's something more instant, and it is better than some of the other jobs out there, because you can easily make $100K in trucking. So I knew that. So my first option was my parents just pushed me to go to school, so I went to school, did that for a couple years. I'm like, that's not for me. I wasn't feeling it, so I decided to quit. And I worked this one job as a kitchen designer salesperson. So I did that pretty much my whole my college. Did that for 5-6 years, since 2015 up until 2020. So 5 years. And then towards the end, and before I even got into doing anything, I think 2015 is when my dad bought his first truck. 2017. Yeah, I think 2017. My bad. Yeah, I think 2017. My dad bought his first truck. And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. Yeah, you can see clearly how creative I am, or where my mind goes. Like, why didn't I think about that? But I guess that's what all we people do. That's what we've been taught, though. Sometimes thinking outside the box is hard. So, but yeah, my dad bought the truck, and I was like, oh, that's smart. So that's when I got interested. But I still was like, all right, I'm still trying to do this, or just do whatever I was doing, which is not shit. I wasn't doing shit, but just working and not doing shit. But I'm like, okay, cool. So then I started running into others, like stuff like I ran into Hood Estates, and they were teaching shit about passive trucking, basically, which pretty much you buy a truck and you put it on with a company and you let them take care of it. And you find a driver, or they can find a driver, depending on, but pretty much your hands free off of it. And that got me real interested. I'm like, okay, that's I like that. So my goal was try to save up money to get that truck and do that. But at the time, credit's fucked up. I did have a little bit of money saved, but not enough to put down, especially with the bad credit. So I was just in the spot like, dang, I can't do that. Because it's been nice to be able to make $25,000 in a year off the truck, or not, even if it was less than that, not doing anything. Come on, that's a no-brainer. While still making $50,000-$60,000 where I was at, or more, because it was partly commission, but I was pretty much averaging about 55-60. So I was like, I could do that, make another 25, and I could just, keep doing that until I can supplement that into so where I can quit that job and do whatever else I can do. But that ain't quite work. So time rolls around. It took me about a couple years to really think like, yeah, I can't do that right now. I can't physically do that. At least what I thought. And then, boom, time comes around. I found I'm having a baby. And at that time, actually, wait, let me rewind on that. I did almost quit that sales job, the cabinet job, to go get my CDL and work for a company called McLean, because that's where my dad used to work. But my dad convinced me not to, because he didn't want me to do that. And this at the time he was in his own truck, so he kind of convinced me not to do that. But I do kind of wish I did, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm here now. But yeah, so I did almost do it. I almost got my CDL and almost went to McLean because they were paying for it, but I didn't do it. So now, fast forward now, I'm about to have a kid. So at that time, I'm like, okay, I really got to go harder now, because I was going, nah, fuck that, I wasn't going hard. I wasn't going as hard as I could, but always in my head, I'm like, I'm trying to build wealth so I can, help my family out, help my mom out, help my future family, I should say, help my mom out, help my dad out, get them out their jobs, basically retire them, because damn, I seen them work and bust their ass all their life, and it's like, it'd be a blessing if I could actually do that for them. That was always my thought process, nothing less, nothing different. But I wasn't putting in the work at the time, not as much work I just think I could have. But yeah, pretty much me finding out that I was gonna have a kid, which is my daughter, Avina. Love her to death. That's my baby girl. That pushed the ball even more. And at the time, my dad had bought this little bullshit ass truck, this old ass Freightliner. I forgot which one it was. I think it was a Columbia or Century, one or the other. Old as hell, flatbed. That's what my dad was doing, and because he was trying to get one of his family members, I think my cousin in, or one of my uncles in, but at the time they didn't want to do it. So I'm like, kind of fell in my lap. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to school. Gotta do it. So I went and did that. Went to school, got my CDL. Took about 2 months. Probably would have been quicker, but it took about 2 months. Got my stuff on December 10th. That's when I got my CDL. Printed at the DMV, and I think the 13th, I went out with my uncle, and was driving with my uncle for 7 months after that. Because I didn't end up driving that truck because there was some work that needed to be done, and I guess my dad didn't really trust the truck or nothing like that. So, and on top of that, there was a trailer with it, and it ended up getting damaged. There was a fire in one of the lots, and pretty much totaled the trailer. So that kind of got partially threw out the window, and also too, my dad ran into the opportunity that we're in right now, which is doing this reefer stuff, and so he said just hold off on that. And so I rode with my uncle for about 8 months. Then I left because my dad had already put in the order for the truck he was getting, and he was just waiting on that so I could drive his truck, Volvo. So I waited, and I didn't get in that truck. He didn't get his truck until September, one or the other. And that's when I got in, actually started doing it by myself. Like, my uncle was with me the whole time. He's a good ass driver, and I watched him do everything, strap stuff down, drive, and just teach me little nuances on the road. So I pretty much had 7 months of training, which a lot of people don't get. They probably get 2 months, 3 months, maybe even less. I've heard some guys say he got put on the road right away, never did over the road or nothing like that. So I was looking for that, and yeah, that's how I got into being an owner-operator right away. It's just family. Family is what pretty much got me here, and family is what's going to keep us pushing and going through and doing bigger and better things. I would say it's not hard being an owner-operator. And I would be lying if I did, because Nothing in life is easy. If you think it is, you're a goddamn fool. Because things take hard work. Things take hard work that people are not willing to do. That's you sacrificing time, you getting up super early, it's doing all those things that no one else is. When everyone's asleep at 3 a.m., you're up working, getting your shit started. Everyone's back home at 6 p.m., you're still out working at 8 p.m. or something like that. And that's putting that extra work. That's you doing the work when no one else is. That's when the work really starts. And that's what I've been about this whole time. And it's been an up and down battle, and but I've learned a lot of things from it. I never took no L. I don't take no L's. I don't take no losses. I learn from my losses, and I go from there. Losses are my lessons, you know. And then once I learn from my lessons, it's always better from there. As long as I don't make that same mistake or nothing like that. And that's why I like about it. That's why I like being about owner operator. I've always wanted to own something, be part of a business, essentially. That's what I've been about. That's what I'm going to continue to be about. And I'll continue showing you guys what it's about. Just get a first-hand experience. I'm going through this day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. And I just want to show y'all my experience. And what you guys can learn from me, if you can or not, or just, you know, take the information as you go. I may be wrong sometimes, I may be right sometimes. I really don't care. Again, like I said, I'm gonna learn from it. So I appreciate y'all watching. But yeah, that's how I became where I'm at today, an owner operator, dealing with these owner operator problems and whatnot. But I love it. I want to change it for the world, and I recommend being an owner operator any day of the week than being a company person or just being a slave to someone else. So it's one step to actually owning, or, you know, I'm an owner operator. I still have a company that does some of the other stuff, but it's one step to even getting to that point where I don't even have to. I do my own loads. I work with the shippers. Everything is direct. So that's the goal at the end of the day. But KeaToSuccess out. Deuces.